Working on another wheel well today. Gonna clean up the undercoating, take it off, and see what's underneath. Alright, so we're working on driver's side rear wheel well. Didn't get very far before we found a problem. That is why undercoating sucks. So the undercoating must have had some cracks in it, let some water in, and it just deteriorated from there. So I want to take all the undercoating off and start with fresh metal. All right, I wonder what the other side looks like. Now that I got the wheel well on the interior all cleaned up, peel back the vinyl and you can see the damaged area here. So I'm going to have to pull off the convertible top and clean all this up just to fix this little hole. Okay, so before I cut anything out, I'm going to mark center of. This is just so when I come back, I can drill a hole in the steel that I replace and line up the square that has the. So I'm going to cut this out, and then patch it, and then all back together. So here's my MIG welder. It's just a 110 MIG welder. You don't need much for doing sheet metal work. I'm using the 0.25 thickness wire and settings at 3 and 4.5 for pooling, and then I turn it down to 3 when I'm just trying to tack it in place. And then I have my pressure regulator set up so that I'm running at about 20 psi. You can go down to about 15 if you're getting blow through. The idea is to make a pool of molten steel that goes in the crack and fills in the hole. So this is the piece that I just welded in, and I don't know if you could tell from the time lapse, but I had a pretty big gap. In fact, you can still see the gap right here, how much of a gap that I had. Need to have somewhat of a gap, otherwise there's no place for the weld to go. If you have your panels are butt up directly next to each other, then the weld can never go through, and even still, you're going to end up with little holes and whatnot. You can go back and patch those, and that's where the puts them on, grinds them off, puts them on, grinds them off. It's not the most efficient technique, but it works. All right, so here's the other side of the panel, and I haven't done any cleanup on it yet. You can see that, well, there's some stuff that bumped through, but for the most part, it's pretty nice on this side because it filled in the gap. And now I have weld there, so I can grind it flat, make it look nice. You'll never know that I replaced it. Well, if you look close enough, you'll be able to see. I am going to bend this piece, make sure there's a good enough gap around the whole thing, and get it ready to weld in next. It's all fixed now. Nut plate's back in place. Everything looks great. Both sides are going to be covered up. The inner side with the vinyl covering and the inner fender side with the coating and paint and such. So you won't see any of it, but so yeah, undercoating on the underside of these Tigers sucks. Traps moisture and creates rust areas. I'm going to continue to clean out all of the undercoating and clean up the underside of the car. I don't think I'll find much more. I knew that that hole was there. I just didn't want to get to it yet. You could tell from both sides just how it was bubbled up that there was something wrong. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.